Alright, and then we are going to go ahead and jump in. I did not stream at all yesterday. I played volleyball all day yesterday. I actually played volleyball for like 8 or 9 hours. Okay, so we did everything. We went around and talked to everybody. Antaeus and Hades Gamma.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
Admiral Hackett here, Commander. Your helmsman just forwarded your report on Major Kyle. We sent in a team as you instructed. Kyle's followers have disbanded, and the Major surrendered to us without incident. We'll make sure he gets the help he needs. To be honest, Shepard, I thought this thing was going to end in a bloodbath. I don't know how you did it, but you saved a lot of lives. Congratulations.
I said that and I already forgot. Ooh. I should have taken that before. Whatever. It's just a vitamin. It was a 1-a-day vitamin. So missing survey team. Go to Antaeus and Hades Gamma. Alright, so Hades Gamma. Antaeus. I did see some people posting their pictures saying that I've already beat the game and everything like that. I don't know. It's not going to take me that long to beat the game, but some people certainly do seem to kind of just rush through things. Which I probably would have done as well if I had the option for it. So Treven's where we want to go. Plova has something interesting about it. I just realized when we went to that one planet that has the planet with the Great Rift Valley on it, I didn't ever actually look up. It's actually just a picture of Mars, because Mars has a giant canyon on it like that. So they kind of just ripped it off. But I didn't ever stop and actually look up at it or anything. Oopsies. Alright, so Plova. Active scans by survey ships have returned tantalizing indications of massive solid structures deep within the atmosphere, too regular in pattern to be anything natural. Some believe Plova is a Jupiter brain, a planet-sized supercomputer. Adherents of this theory have fruitlessly beamed signals towards the sunken megastructures, hoping to get the machine's attention. Others believe that an ancient spacefaring race disposed of their weapons of war by dumping them into the planet. The last attempt to reach the salvage Plova's deep anomalies went tragically wrong and ended with a crew of 12 being trapped and crushed in the gas giant's lower atmosphere. So it's interesting. Like I said, if you play through the game, I'm gonna point these out where I remember they are and check where else. But perhaps that was, something that could have been useful fighting against the Reapers. Who knows? Maybe the desperation of the Reapers appearing should have, got people to be desperate enough to try to figure out what it is. So it's a modest terrestrial world with an atmosphere composed... I'm not going to read all these. I haven't been. Mm. I think I actually closed. Yeah, so I need to look this up separately. I need to pull up a map. But I already forgot what the name. My memory isn't great in the first place. But it's one of those things where everybody thinks everybody else has a better memory than them, I think. Trebin. Okay, with me down here. Me down here. Ooh, wait. It's actually, if I go right in here somewhere. I think it's closer. It's gotta be like the top of this mountain or something. No. Ah, you suck. You suck, Mako. Like I said, they made it heavier, so it's harder to actually climb. God damn it. Okay, let's go to the side here. Oh gosh. See, they did not solve the bounciness at all. You hear that noise right there? Is it gonna do it again? That's interesting. Those are different noises than I've heard in the past. Have I never found this one before? Because normally it's more of like a whale kind of noise. These are really stretched out. Do it once more and then we'll go. Okay. So yeah, again, those have been now associated with the Rachni, but there's no Rachni on this planet.
Heading to position.
At least I don't think there are. I have to get to the actual mission to remember what. Also, that's kind of spoilers, but I would have to. The problem with this game, in fact, this series as a whole, is they kind of post their own spoilers within the game at times. You can come across some Rachni earlier in the story than when you get to Novaria, and it tells you that they are Rachni. And in fact, on Novaria, before you even really know what's going on there, it tells you that they're Rachni. Because you see how when I target somebody above their head, it says who they are and what they are? It does that with the Rachni. Oop. Oh, come on. Oh my gosh, I think this might... Ugh, I hate how it still goes left and right even when you're on the side or on the top. So yeah, there were some Rachni sounds. And it's, the whole thing has always been kind of a weird, loose end, in my opinion. Because it appears on so many planets, and it reads like it's a bug. That maybe it was supposed to alert you that there was a pressure maw on a planet, or maybe there were Rachni going to be on the planet. Oh yeah, I remember this. It's just there's a bunch of crash probes, and I think that expects you... Why'd you pull out guns? I think it expects you to go over here first. I remember what one this is. But this is weird, because there's like two different things happening on this planet, really. Because there's this with the crashed probes that somebody set up a transmitter that's forcing them to crash there somehow. And then there's this missing survey team, which seems to be like a two-pronged attack with different targets. It's not really even sure if it's the same thing. Because once you get over here... You can see there's actually two bases over here. We're gonna go to this one first.
This place looks abandoned.
Uh-huh. It's very observant of you. So we have, this is basically the residential stuff. Very, very generic stuff. By the way, I haven't really been pointing this out, but you can see we're all wearing helmets because we're on a planet that we would need to wear helmets on. I like that aspect of Mass Effect. It puts a helmet on you if you need a helmet.
According to these data logs, the survey team unearthed some kind of alien technology.
Perhaps we will find more answers at the excavation site.
This is also a very weird mission, because so the premise here is that this survey team has gone missing. Their probes have all been removed from orbit. And now we found out that they found some sort of alien technology. See, and we took off our helmets now that we're underground. Well, except Tolly, who always has to wear a helmet. She's immunocompromised. Nope. Let's not do that. I was gonna see if I put her with an assault rifle. Will she keep the assault rifle out? Okay.
Heads up!
So we can see there. Oh, we can even see here. Oh, what on earth? Oh, holy cow, why did all these go away? Why did everything go away? We had throw, we had levitate, lift, whatever it's called. 4 was that. 3 was warp. 5 was this, which I think will automatically change to Carnage. But now we also, I don't think I ever did shield boost. We had Unity there, and we also have Adrenaline burst. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah.
Shell deployed.
Technology that turned them into mindless fanatics.
So the
Whatever they found, it is long gone now.
machine cultists is what it calls them. That's why this is weird, because we know those are husks. And so the question becomes, were they husks because the developers didn't have time to create something else? Or are they just not sure that they are identical? This over here, is this new? I'm not sure if I remember this as being part of this. What that is in the middle, hold on, we'll do this and then we'll go take a look. This is a Geth temple. You can see the actual design here is very Geth-like. And then that, and you actually find one of these on Pharos. And you basically find a bunch of Geth like huddled around it, like praying. So the Geth have religion. So the fact that there are husks in a Geth church down here, I'm not sure if I remember the This gun, by the way, you may have noticed, is quite a bit slower. That's because it's more like a magnum. Converted to cybernetic husks by devices similar to those used by the Gathonine Prime. How they came to be buried on a frontier world so far from Geth territory is a mystery. So these were actually... The Exogeny survey team found this church...
Perimeter clear.
As well as... now when we go down into these tunnels... Now that we killed all the Geth in them... These are, I believe they call them dragon's teeth. Those we saw in Eden Prime, they, you know, they drain humans and presumably other aliens and turn them into husks. So these have been buried here. Which is interesting, I never really thought about that. The church itself, then, is not a Geth church. It is... Spoiler warning again, I guess. But it is a Reaper thing. Oh my gosh. Ah, god damn it. It's very hard to control how far in you go on this minigame. Or how far to the sides you go. Geth. Let's heal. I don't need heal, but my teammates do. Oh, get off cover. Just make sure there's nothing. There was something else over here. And at a certain point, I'm gonna switch over to just start using Omnigel to do all this. But like I said, they also seem to have cut down on the amount of loot that gets dropped in general. I feel like by this point I would normally have 1,000 Omnigel. Okay, so that's really all the story there is to this one. We found the survey team found a buried supply of dragon's teeth and a church. But, whatever kind of church they have. There's up over here somewhere. I think I saw it before. There's an ore deposit. I believe that's it right there. But yeah, not a ton of information provided there. It's kind of weird. There's a few like weird like quirks of this game like that. That it's just like there's more going on than we're talking about. 5. Oh, I think I know. Okay. Because yeah, that's the fact that those are there implies that husks of some sort are an ancient thing, and not brought by, at this point, for what we know, Saren. think it's gonna... Does it pop up here, or do I have to come down here for it? This isn't flat. I like this. I do like the fact that they added this trail to the thresh moths. I think the thresher moths themselves have a different appearance than what they originally looked like in this game. I mean, kind of. Except I don't know that they ever cover whether thresher moths can move through stone or not. I think this makes them stop briefly. Obviously, he's trying to... Oops, I missed. Thresher moths actually have fairly interesting lore. They're not just sandworms. They actually, when they need to reproduce, they actually like throw their spores out into space, and that's why you find them on so many different planets. Oop. I accidentally went too far there. I think that's everything. I mean, that's how they throw their spores into outer space and it just travels to different planets. There was also, you weren't in here earlier, but over here there was more. You know, I'm actually going to go back over there because it was weird. It wasn't like a normal sound, but there's more of the arachnite sounds. The ones that they now attribute to the arachnite. But these ones kind of sound different from the ones that I was getting on other planets. But we haven't even gotten... Actually, I might go there next. So it's at the top of this mountain over here. But there's one particular place that you wouldn't expect to find arachnite sounds, that you absolutely find arachnite sounds. And so it's like, well, then why would they be arachnite sounds? So you heard that? That's not the same. Shut up, Mako. Stop making so much noise. Jesus, Mako. You make too much noise. Alright, so yeah, you can tell there's different that last noise they made is actually one I've heard before, but a lot of the other noises that they were making before were very peculiar. Okay, we're going to, like I said, there's one particular place that you wouldn't expect to find the Rachni, but you totally hear that noise anyways. We're traveling to Sol. Which you might know Sol as our solar system. So you can... Mercury, Venus. I don't think you can survey any of these planets. Earth. There's 11.4 billion people on Earth. There's actually a theoretical threshold of human life that Earth can sustain at 12 billion. And the thought process, I believe, is that we actually kind of naturally gravitate towards that. So once we hit 12 billion, I think there's actually not expected to be any more real growth. But you can see developed nations actually stop increasing their population. Their birth rate declines. The U.S. has what would be called a negative decline. I was always very disappointed Ceres is nowhere to be found. Jupiter. There's not really a whole lot that's super interesting about coming to our solar system, except for the mission that's here. But the big thing is that on Mars, they found the secret to the Mass Effect relays, which is the secret of Mass Effect travel. Neptune. Boop. And Pluto. So they found that on Mars, buried on Mars. It was a Prothean research base, so they were studying humans. And then Charon, the moon of Pluto, was actually a frozen over Mass Effect relay. Boop. And then Luna, aka the moon. So there's a mission here. Japan has a declining birth rate. China has a... I don't know if China technically has a declining birth rate right now, but they will. Luna. Pull up the map. Okay. But yeah, most developed nations have a declining birth rate, and in the US, the way that we keep our birth rate positive, basically, is by what is that? Oh yeah, there's just a weird one. There's just weird stuff on this planet. This is the moon. So not a planet, but... Korea's booming? I don't know. China's going to have major consequences because of their one-child policy, and then because they also have a system under which women over the age of 30 and divorced women are considered undateable by large chunks of the population. Oh, they fixed it! What? I don't know if I like that. When you looked up, they replaced the image of Earth from the moon. It used to be backwards. I don't know why it was backwards. Somebody messed up somewhere along the lines, and nobody caught it at any point, apparently. So we just found a lunar module that has some stuff on it for us to take. I don't know exactly why it has, like, weapons or whatever that was. But yeah, the reason the U.S. has an expanding population is because we let immigrants in. Otherwise, it would not be. Is it right here? It's like one of the little bumps you have to be sitting on top of. I know these turrets used to shoot from there. You can see turrets out on this thing. Yeah, there you go. Ah, they are shooting at me. Why am I not seeing their rockets? But yeah, that's the Rachni noise. That's so weird. So the rockets can still hit me out here, they're just invisible. The sound of the rockets is getting... There they are, not right up here. If you couldn't really hear it, let me know. But yeah, the Rachni noises are here on the moon. So yeah, I could go back there if need be. But the point being, I'm gonna come back and finish this off. I'm gonna do this first. But yeah, there's Rachni. That's one of the reasons that I'm like, it doesn't make sense for them to be Rachni. How would we not know if there were Rachni on the moon? It does not make sense. Damn it, every time I get an email, I'm gonna be like nervously checking it because I'm trying to get a GPU. trying to get a video card desperately. Not that desperately, but desperately enough to enter a raffle to get one every day, to buy one. I have to enter a raffle in order to buy something. Phew, the last year has been crazy. Whoever would have thought we'd have to enter raffles to buy video cards? Oh, turned that way, yes! Raw. See, and it's not even the Mako's fault, it's the fact that the planet is shaped weird and everything. Oh. So I mean, it's a little bit of spoilers, but the game itself really kind of ruins the surprise itself. But essentially, Rachni are an insect-like race that was wiped out, I think, like 2,000 years before the events of this game. And it turns out they weren't all wiped out. But the Krogan, the big ugly frog-like guys, they during the Rachni War, so while the entire galaxy was fighting the Rachni insect creatures, they found the Krogan. And the Krogan are resistant to the toxic environments that Rachni live in. And Krogan also breed really fast. And so they were uplifted. They were made into a spacefaring species. Specifically in order to kill the Rachni. Which they did. And, well, which they almost did. And then the Krogan were given a bunch of homeworlds, and they expand and became prolific, and they bred way too fast, and then they found the Turians, and the Turians had to take care of the Krogans. Oh, Jesus. It's very... No, come down. It's very hard to control how far to the left or right you're going in this minigame. I don't know what the plan is with Mass Effect 4. Because again, the problem with the Krogan Tally, seriously, AI, stop. You two need to stop. Two of them keep running out in front of me. Oh man, this gun might actually shoot way too slow for this mission. Something blew up in here. That's what this is. That's glitching out right now. Something blew up, and one of these power junctions, or maybe even a couple of these power junctions. But yeah, the Krogan breed really, really fast, and so they came up with a genophage that makes the women infertile. that makes a lot of the women infertile. Not all of them, but a large amount. So now they're leaking toxic gas. And then in Mass Effect 3, you basically are given an option to cure the genophage. And it doesn't really bring up any of the moral implications of the genophage in the process. It just kind of assumes that you think that the genophage is this horribly monstrous thing, because like I said, it does make a significant portion of their women infertile. But it also is a very real solution to a major problem that is Krogan overpopulation and conquest. Anyways, what we're doing on this planet is that there is a VI, so a virtual intelligence, which is not as strong as a AI, but it is something that simulates AI, essentially. So it's the kind of thing that wouldn't pass the Turing test, theoretically. But it's designed to run military training, and it went rogue and started attacking people. And we're doing this basically off the books, because if the council found out, we could actually get the
Hostile spotted.
The Human Alliance, humanity, in trouble. These are all 5s. I gotta remember, are 5s worth selling, or should I still be breaking down? Oh my gosh. Oh, Jesus. Burp. Okay, so let's send... No. You go there. I don't know that any of these biotic powers actually affect things. I got Liara killed. I mean, the genophage... I mean, maybe they should have come up with like a version 2.0 or whatever that results in less pregnancies? But yeah, they had a birth rate that was like 1,000 times that of any other species, and I think they were ready. They were of fighting age by the time they were like 10 or something. And as Rex says, they are a warlike people by nature. Well, so the problem is actually that they were uplifted because they had evolved on this like extremely toxic planet that the survival rate was extremely low, and they basically were not prepared to enter the galactic arena. That's why, like in Star Trek, they have the Prime Directive of non-interference. They don't have that, or they didn't have that in this universe, and they uplifted the Krogan and gave them space travel long before they were ready. And so things like birth rate that would have sorted themselves out. It's when you take a predator, or you take a prey, or any kind of animal, really, and put them in an environment where they don't have to worry as much about their natural predators, then all of a sudden their population explodes. You can see that in Texas with wild boar, and that's why Texas, they allow you to kill as many wild boar as you want without a license, without a permit. You can get a helicopter and you can just fly overhead and shoot wild boar from the helicopter.
Think we got him, Commander.
Because they're an invasive species. Yeah, but not to the same degree. Like Krogans don't. Rex says during one of the interviews, he's like, "When's the last time you met a Krogan scientist?" Krogans don't. Their entire society, their entire species is geared towards war. Like, that's what they are. They. It's not like humanity. It would be more like ants or something, giving them the power to... Oh wow, holy cow. I did not notice that they were all stacked right there. Okay.
Negative contacts, Commander.
So while humanity does have war and all that stuff, it's not to the same degree. It's like humanity, it's that aspect of humanity if that aspect of humanity were our entire civilization. So it's not saying I'm not saying that the genophage is like good. I'm saying it is a bad answer to a very real problem. Going ahead to Mass Effect 2, Morden was actually in charge of a team that adjusted the genophage so that it's... Why are there enemies here? There are enemies here too. Oop. Okay, a burst of white noise. Overall frequencies nearly deafens you. Your hardsuit's heads-up display interprets it into a series of zeros and ones. They repeat again and again, blanketing all frequencies until the lights on the final VI cluster flicker and die, and then I can get a specialization class. That binary there just says help. I'll explain that in a second one, but I get a specialization class now. So I'm not just a Vanguard. I can be a Vanguard Shock Trooper, or I can be a Nemesis. So Shock Trooper, increase health, increase DP, increase barrier ability, increase adrenaline ability, or duration and damage of all biotic abilities, increases warp, increases lift. I'm gonna go Shock Trooper, actually, instead of Nemesis. Well, so there's actually a thing in Mass Effect lore that a lot of Krogan actually seem to court Asari, such as Liara here, because because they can't otherwise have kids. Oh yeah, so if I look at now if I look at the squad menu down here, this used to say Vanguard. Now it says Shock Trooper. Vanguard only went to like this point or something, and now it goes all the way down. And you can also tell that I haven't put a ton of points into it yet. Was I working towards something else at this point? I got barrier all the way up. Maybe I just want to max that out right now. Or at least go to barrier specialization. Tactical armor. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, because I want to be able to wear medium armor. And then I'll put the rest there. And the next time we level, I should be able to get Shock Trooper. Or I should be able to get barrier specialization. Because obviously I care a lot about barrier, because I don't want to die. And I haven't been keeping up with leveling characters. Tali, what do you want, Tali? Let's get you to master AI hacking. Then let's put into Quarian machinist. Oh, did I not use all of her points? Oh yeah, I haven't been using, because I have electronics. I don't know why they gave Liara an electronics ability. That's very weird to me. I ran 20 feet. Help me. Oh, what the... Game was like, we can't let you go. You're slightly touching one of the orange borders. Religion's not brought up too much. It's so the Hanar, which are the squids, the jelly, the jellyfish-like creatures. They have a religion. They basically worship the Protheans for building the Citadel and all that stuff. In the second game, Thane has religion. The Krogan don't really have religion. Human religion is not really discussed too much. It's our discussion with Ashley is basically that she still believes in God. So we did have that conversation with her. The Asari like to say things like "thank the goddess" and stuff, which they have, which is like they have religion, but they never really talk about it. And then more or less the same with the Quarians, which is what Tali is. They are basically kind of like space Muslims. Okay. So there's that. Dahlia. So that wants me to go back and talk to Masana. I guess I'll do the Cerberus mission next. Yangtze and Voyager. Yangtze and the Voyager cluster. Voyager cluster. Voyager cluster. So I'm not sure if you were around for when I got that, but stereotypically Jewish? No, not really. I mean, it could be argued the Quarians are kind of like a mixture of Jewish and Muslim, but they're kind of just... Bintu. I always remember Bintu because I had a friend named Bindu at one point. At the time that this game was launched, actually. So I was like, there's a planet named after you. All those little pop-ups that keep coming up are just telling me that you found minerals. Some of them have little story brackets, but I don't think any of them are particularly interesting. Alright, so, I don't know if you were here for this, but we were given this mission by Admiral Kahoku, which I did go on a little bit of a rant about. That's the guy that his storyline just kind of ended in this game. Like, it makes sense that it would end, because they're planning on picking it up in future titles, but they never did. But this is Cerberus. We found his missing survey team. They all turned up dead, killed by a thresher maw, and they were lured into the thresher maw nest. We reported back to him. He goes, "That's insane. They wouldn't be stupid enough to land in the middle of a thresher maw nest." And then a little while later, he calls us back up and says, "Hey, there's this group called Cerberus. They are an Alliance Black Ops group that splintered a few months back." So a lot of the lore from Mass Effect 2 is conflicting with this. Let me pull up a map. And we can get started on this. There's research. Um, let's just go up to this. But yeah, he announces Cerberus as a super Black Ops organization that is an alliance organization that then splintered a few months back. And they've been dark ever since, and then they are experimenting on other races and on humans in order to ensure that humanity is the ultimate race in the universe, basically. I mean, he lays it out pretty clearly for you that they're evil, that they're bad. Like, you wouldn't want to work with these guys. I don't get too into the weeds with any sci-fi books. I mean, I've read a lot of Star Wars books. I read the 2001 A Space Odyssey, all 4 of those books. Hello. Hello.
Warm up.
Oh, that's weird. Oh no! I think I got a glitch. Oh no! Why are those buttons still working? I can't pull out my gun or use the interact button. So I can't get back in the Mako either. Oh no! Oh shit, and I'm nervous if I autosave. It's gonna overwrite that, and who knows how far back it's gonna take me. Interesting. So let's load that save. I don't know what that was. That's a weird glitch. Okay, well, saving and reloading fixed. This base may look familiar. They reuse these assets a lot, which was a complaint at the time, but I actually think it's a fairly... It even makes sense in the context of the game world, but I think it's actually a fairly intelligent solution to a problem, to a very real problem. Look at these little creatures in here.
You must die.
But the reason I say it makes sense in universe is because these are all very much just like, I think the term we'd use is slapdash operations. So they just throw these all together. These are prefab buildings that are just kind of dropped on a planet and then used. So it makes sense that there'd be mass-produced things. Okay, so then, see, here's where the spoilers come in. Recruit, kill 250 enemies. Okay. Those were called Arachni workers or whatever, so it kind of gives away right there if you haven't gotten to Noveria yet.
Looks like
Kind of
Cerberus has
gives
other bases on
away.
this world, Shepard.
Thanks. I didn't know that. It kind of gives away that the Arachni are still alive right there. Which is the case I believe I had when I first played through the game, the very first time I ever played, where I was following along, I knew the Arachni were all extinct, and then I get to this point. Of course, at that point I was already going, I wonder if they're really extinct. Because, oh, what? What? Okay. I haven't had any glitches at all, and then all of a sudden I'm coming across multiples on this same planet. Yeah, I don't read a ton of sci-fi books. I'm rereading the Dune series right now, but I got through the first 2 books pretty quick, but the 3rd book has taken me a long time, and it's not because it's a bad book, it's just because I am so preoccupied with other things. I haven't been making time to just sit down and read. And I used to read while waiting for other people to show up to volleyball, but people have started realizing that I show up early for volleyball. And so now more and more people are showing up, you know, up to half an hour before volleyball starts. Which is time I used to dedicate to reading. Dune's a weird book. The very first book of Dune is 800 or so pages, 8 to 900 pages, and it's split up into 3 different acts, 3 different books, is what it calls them. Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I'm getting at, is the first the first sorry the fir- the first book takes a really long time to actually have anything happen. It's really just world building stuff. And then the second book is literally just them wandering through the desert for most of it. So there's a lot of like philosophical questions being answered. And then the third book, and when I'm saying book in this context, I'm talking about the Dune. The book Dune is split up into 3 different books. It refers to them as books, so that's kind of the terminology I'm using. So the first book is from Paul landing on Arrakis to basically to the Duke being killed. And then the second book is Paul and Jessica trying to survive in the desert, coming across the Fremen, and being taken back to Siege Tabir. And the third is 2 or 3 years in the future, Paul becoming a full Fremen, becoming the Mahdi, and exacting his revenge. And the third book in that situation is a lot of action. It is one chapter this happens, the next chapter this happens, the next chapter this happens. So it's almost like a complete inverse of the other two, where he's like, "Oh crap, I got to get this finished." And that's probably my only complaint of the book series. We got some Thorian creepers here.
I wonder what Cerberus horrors we'll find at the next base.
We haven't come across the Thorian in this game, but the Thorian is a specific creature, and the creepers defend him. So, presumably Cerberus knew about it, and they got the creepers from there. Little bit of texture pop in there. We have something exciting up over here. No, I know what you're getting at, but what I'm saying is that the book Dune. So there's 6 books to the Dune series, but the book Dune is split up into 3 different books. It calls them books. That's what it refers to them as. So that's what I'm going based off of. Oh, I forgot to mark this mineral deposit. So the second book that you are talking about is Dune Messiah, which is a fully different story. I'm not talking about a different story, I'm talking about the way that it splits them up. Like, if you read the Bible, yes, the Bible is one book, but each section of the Bible is referred to as a book. It's the book of Genesis, the book of Exodus. And it's that way in Christianity and in Judaism, and then it's also the same way in the Quran. Other places would kind of just call those the holy texts or whatever, but Judaism-based stuff tends to do that. So here, we have this little tiny thing. Tiny little pyramid. Presumably actually much bigger. But it's a Prothean pyramid. So I haven't really been reading these, but really all it says is there's a Prothean data disk inside. And then presumably we don't have any way to read. They're shouting at me. The 4th book is God Emperor. I'm on the 3rd book right now, which is Children of Dune. It's Dune Messiah, Children of Dune, God Emperor, Heretics of Dune, and then Chapter House Dune. Okay, so these are different Cerberus facilities. This is the last one on this planet. Kahoku said he was going to chase down Cerberus. And so we're kind of looking for him. Who again is a rear admiral in the Alliance fleet. Boom, look at that thing in there. Is this thing? Ouch. I got knocked down. That was not very nice.
I will destroy you!
I don't think I actually hit them with that. I think one of my squad mates killed her. I don't know if there's achievements for killing with specific weapons in this. Aid station. AIDS. I just want to look and see if there's anything for me to hack to get items before I tango with this guy. Look at that name.
One last
It is
stop
a
to make,
Rachni
Shepard.
soldier.
We owe Kahoku that much.
I actually thought that might... I know it wasn't like a boss level fight, but I thought it might actually hurt me at least. But it did not. And then here we have Rear Admiral Kahoku in a Cerberus training facility with Arachni. You check for pulse but find none. Admiral Kahoku is dead. Despite the ferocity of the creatures he was sealed in with, there are no signs of trauma on his corpse. The needle marks on his arm suggested different means of execution.
Oh, goddess. It's Admiral Kahoku. Cerberus must have tracked him down.
It's pretty clear there. Cerberus captured him, killed him. I don't know if these are supposed to be cameras. I guess they're supposed to be cameras. Or some sort of scanning device or whatever. But yeah, Cerberus, he went on the hunt for them, and they captured him and killed him. And then presumably threw his body in with Arachni for it to be eaten. Or at least they were hoping it would eat him. But the Arachni didn't touch him. His body shows up in whichever of these you visit last, so it'll be in the in with the Thorians if that's the one you go to last. It'll be in with the Arachni workers if that's the one you go to last. Some more texture popping. Yeah, so Cerberus kills an admiral in the Alliance fleet. Whoa, what the... Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh, there it is. It's like, where'd the Mako go? Ah, it's still stuck. What the heck, game? Why is this planet so broken? Nothing? Let's overwrite that last save again and try load. That's why quick save exists, people. But I also don't want to overwrite. It's a shame it's not including multiples. Yeah, I'll have to check out the Rage Select video later. I know he's never been as big of a fan. I'm sure you've already left, but I know he's never been as big of a fan of the first game. Actually, I want to take a look real quick. Who's he doing it with? Because if he's doing it with John, I know John is also not a big fan of the first one. And Morgan Frank. I don't know if he's ever done one with just Morgan Frank. I wonder if he's doing that because she's a bigger fan of the series than he is. Which I don't know that that's the case, but that makes me question if he sought someone out that is a big fan of the first game that could talk about what the improvements actually are or something. Where's a good place to attack this from? Oh my gosh, there's no good place. Damn you and your damn you and your randomly creating. Where can I even get through? Jeez. I need to turn some stuff into Omnigel so I just never have to do that minigame again. It's more annoying than the one that's on Xbox. Okay, return to Normandy. So the Cerberus bastards killed an admiral in the Alliance fleet. And then in Mass Effect 2, we're just never going to bring it up. I think I want to hold off on that one just briefly. I can go tell Nasana. I'm at some point going to have to go back and mark off which planets I've been to, because not all of them actually show up in your quest log. Not every planet you can go visit. Particularly the Styx Theta stuff. So yeah, I'm still catching some texture popping from time to time. But when this game was originally released, sometimes it was terrible.
Equalizing interior pressure with exterior atmosphere. Logged. The commanding officer is ashore. Exo Presley has the deck.
Alliance officials have raided a dangerous cult controlled by a former Alliance officer, Major Kyle. Major Kyle surrendered and is now being treated for severe post-traumatic stress disorder.
Look at Tully. Tully is not human. She's not a human that's slightly altered. Especially when you're talking to her in conversations, you can tell. They might have actually changed her model for the upres so that you can tell that she has like a nose. I don't know that you could see through her mask like that previously.
Presidium technicians are struggling to understand why a computer system catastrophically overloaded recently. Technicians are reportedly unsure of what caused the malfunction, or even what the system was originally designed to do. CSEC is investigating the possible vandalism or misuse of public property.
I have to grab that, but there's actually a bunch of really cool artwork out there of what the concepts were for the Quarians. And pretty much none of them were. They're basically just humans. That's a result of people wanting really hard to try to bang her. Because it's the internet, and so... So they want to anthropomorphize everything and try to bang them.
Yes, Shepard? Did you
I don't
find my
know.
sister?
Dahlia's dead, and I know she was blackmailing you.
So the truth comes out. I hope you're not angry. Surely you can understand why I lied to you. If people found out my sister was a criminal, I'd be considered a security risk. They'd revoke my clearance, or place me on administrative leave until she was apprehended. That is why I misled you. I could not risk you exposing me. But now that Dahlia is out of the picture, it's no longer a problem.
I would have helped if you just told me the truth.
Perhaps you're right. I am sorry. We have trust issues in my family.
Obviously.
Clearly.
I shall transfer a little something into your account as a token of my appreciation. I'm sure you'll find the amount satisfactory.
I don't want your blood
Oh,
money.
damn it.
I do not like being in anyone's
I
debt.
clicked back on the
Consider it a
screen. I
fee
didn't
for
mean to
doing your
actually
civic
make that
duty if it makes
choice.
you feel any better. Or give it away to some charity. I care not. The funds are already on their way. They are your problem now.
God damn it. I actually didn't want to choose that. God damn it. I'm sorry. That's sloppy of me. Are we... I think it auto-saved to put us when we got to the planet. Not before we got there. So that was very sloppy of me. I shouldn't have done that. I should have paid more attention to what I was clicking on. Because I'm playing in borderless,
Equalizing
so it
interior pressure with exterior atmosphere. Logged. The commanding officer is ashore. Exo Presley has the deck.
So yeah, it's usually pretty good about auto-saving when you get to each planet.
Alliance officials have raided a dangerous cult
But
controlled
in the
by
case
a former Alliance
of
officer, Major Kyle.
Mass Effect,
Major Kyle surrendered and is now being treated for severe post-traumatic stress disorder.
in the case of the Citadel, if you fail to auto-save, if you fail to save regularly when you're on the Citadel the first time through, you actually are in for
Presidium
quite a
technicians are
headache
struggling
because
to
it can take
understand why a
up to
computer
like
system
5
catastrophically
hours.
overloaded recently. Technicians are reportedly unsure of what caused the malfunction, or even what the system was originally designed to do.
Press spacebar to skip. It wasn't letting me skip that last one until the very end. I'm running this off an NVMe, but I don't think the speed my motherboard allows on an NVMe is all that high. So stuff actually might still take, you know, a few seconds to load rather than being instantaneous. Alright,
Yes, Shepard? Did you find my...
so we'll skip
That is
through
why
a
I
lot of
misled
this.
I could not risk...
I would have helped.
Perhaps you're right. I shall transfer a little something into your account as a token of my
You're a
appreciation.
diplomat on her way up the ranks. Could be handy to have a Spectre who owes you a favor.
You make a good point. Anyone can come up with credits. But I can give you authorization to purchase prototype Asari mods. I will get you added to our manufacturer's preferred client list. I think you'd be very interested in what they have available. Goodbye, Shepard. It has been a pleasure doing business with you.
I'm not really sure. That doesn't seem like a Paragon option to me, if I'm being real. you kind of, I don't want to say like extorting her there, but you're making a deal with someone who just had you kill her sister under false pretenses. That does not seem like a Paragon thing to do. I'm actually going to run over to the Emporium. As much as you can run in this game. And see if he has any, what you call it? Grenade mods, medical mods, licenses. I think you used to accidentally be able to repurchase the same mods over and over again.
Commander, it is good to see you again. Would you care to see some of its fantastic
Show me your
items?
items.
Oh, this one.
So is the last, I believe that's the last grenade upgrade. As well as some licenses. And then selling, so the level 7 stuff is definitely reselling. It's 26,000. Level 6 is like 10,000. Level 5 stuff is like 6,000. So it like doubles each time, you can tell. And that's why the low level stuff is not super useful. It's actually makes more sense to break it down for whatever you call it. For Omnigel. Okay, I already solved the problem of the bickering couple over here. I think I've done everything that can be done on the Citadel until the lockdown stage. And possibly I'm going to take this path back to the ship. I'm actually going to walk and take the elevators to make sure there's nothing to pick up. Because you get flavor text and you get...
Alliance officials have raided a dangerous cult controlled by a former Alliance
we just got
officer,
that
Major
dialogue.
Kyle.
You actually
Major
get
Kyle
quests
surrendered and is now being treated for
through the elevators. There's like news reports about stuff. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
In light of the recent attack on Eden Prime, many colonial investors are pulling their support for future projects. Proponents of expanded human colonization and...
Yeah. I guess I could have listened to that one, but... Man, why does that happen? On this elevator, there's like a banging noise every time I get out of the elevator. I feel like that's a glitch that wasn't there in the original game. Alright, Conrad is here. This is the only other side quest on the
Commander,
Citadel.
I've been waiting for you to get back. I've got an idea, and I wanted to run it by you.
I got a lot going on right now, but I can spare a moment.
Great! This'll just take a minute. With so many human colonies being attacked, I'm not sure that one Spectre is enough. What if you signed me on as another Spectre?
Just make me a Spectre.
Conrad, I don't think that's a good idea.
But I'd make a great Spectre. I'd be right there with you, showing the Council what humanity is capable of. I want to be with you, fighting the good fight like you did on Elysium during the Skillian Blitz.
Alright, so this is actually a glitch in Mass Effect 2, so I want to choose the Paragon option, because in Mass Effect 2, it pretends like you take the Renegade option, and I kinda want to see if they fix that.
I believe you, Conrad, but there's another fight that needs you.
What? I don't understand.
You know what keeps me going out here? Knowing that people back home are keeping humanity strong.
You're right. I just got so caught up in all of it. I wanted to help. I'll go home. Thanks for setting me straight.
So you can actually end that by pulling a gun on him. By getting really in his face, pulling a gun on him. And in Mass Effect 2, it doesn't matter if you chose that option or not. He actually acts like you pulled a gun on him anyways. And then in Mass Effect 3, he apologizes for accusing you of pulling a gun on him. So a fix to that would actually throw Mass Effect 3 through a bit of a loop.
Yes, Commander. Is there something I can do for you?
Let me take a look at what you have for sale.
Of course.
And so it's just kind of this big, whole, ugly mess that they actually officially made a bug that they can't fix without screwing other things up. I should get on the elevator and then do this. This is such a long, unnecessary...
Exogeny Corp recently released an official statement regarding their missing survey team in the Hades Gamma Cluster.
Did they? Are you sure?
According to the statement, the remains of the survey team were discovered not far from their abandoned research camp. There were no survivors.
So I'm trying to look something up real quick.
It is believed the researchers were the victims of a random attack by raiders or mercenaries. Names will be released after next of kin are notified.
So all those lines of dialogue are on a timer, and that timer doesn't tick if I don't have the game in focus, if I'm alt-tabbed out of it, apparently. And so I can't look stuff up while I'm in an elevator.
Hello, Commander.
Just very bizarre little...
I think I'll be going.
Yep.
Sure thing, Commander. You have a good day now. Hello, Commander.
Very bizarre little things. Okay, interesting.
For you, Commander. Enjoy.
I understand how this stuff... I'm starting to understand how some of the stuff is actually working. I've never played this on PC before. And I doubt they fixed this stuff. And... There is a specific, like, Spectre class of weapons that this guy sells, but he's not selling them.
Tally, are the Quarians concerned that the return of the Geth will lead to more anger against your people?
The Geth killed billions and forced us from our homeworld. Most Quarians believe we have paid properly for our mistake.
I hope the other races view matters in the same light.
Okay. Get back on our ship.
Stand by, shore party.
And I'm pretty sure that's the end of the Conrad
progress.
storyline for this game.
Logged. The commanding officer is aboard. XO Presley stands relieved.
So there's Hades Dogs. It's the only other side quest I have right now. I have all the gas I need. Alright. I'm gonna take a break for a minute. Just to go use the bathroom, and then I will be right back. Okay. My nephew's here again. Alright, so Nephron, Columbia, Voyager, Columbia. Actually, it's the way that works. Voyager cluster, Columbia system. This is the planet we want to go to. Hater. So there's a meme suggesting a Prothean ship crashed through the crust before the collapse of the Empire, but mapping of the gravity field have proved that there's nothing weird about the planet core. Oop, I forgot to actually survey. There's the planet. Gromar. Some interesting little information there. Used to be part of a telescope, the planet itself. Is there nothing in these asteroid belts? I might have to actually look that up. Columbia. This one is probably named for the Columbia River. Are we sure it's not named for the space shuttle? Since it's in the Voyager cluster? Oh, that's funny. Okay, so let's get that, and then there's another one down here. Water pool here. Frozen water, aka ice. As long as it doesn't throw me off the mountain. Have a hard time getting out of there. Crushed probe. Let's do this first. And we'll spiral back in towards that. Not much of a spiral, but I'm a bit nervous about getting interrupted here. I'm getting shot. try climbing up here. I need to go back and load up an old save on the Xbox version. Just to see if that noise changed, if I even have the Xbox version installed anymore. It's too low now. Too many of those. Cautiously press a few buttons and an alarm chimes. The optical database is flashing itself. Quickly you copy as many files into your hardsuit's internal computer. It's a memory wipe. The computer shuts down. The files are sure to be encrypted, but you've got time to crack them. So that's the end of Hades' dogs. Which is, following the Cerberus mission. Get it? Hades' dogs. I think there's one last thing to do.
Transmission coming in, Commander. I think you're gonna want to hear this one.
Greetings, Commander Shepard. I represent a party interested in obtaining information on Cerberus activities.
Who are you, and who do you represent?
Who I am is inconsequential. Suffice to say, I am an agent for the Shadow Broker. You see, Admiral Kahoku contacted my employer looking for information on the location of any Cerberus facilities. We provided that information on the promise that he would turn over copies of all files gathered from the Cerberus systems to us.
Did you have anything to do with Admiral Kahoku ending up dead?
We had no reason to harm him. He was going to provide us with information about Cerberus. Information that is now in your possession.
You must have some connection to Cerberus. How else could you tell Kahoku where to find them?
Information is our business, Commander. Through our contacts, we were able to determine that the Cerberus group was active in the Voyager cluster. Unfortunately, that was all we were able to find out. That is why we are so interested in acquiring copies of the files from you.
These are classified Alliance files. I'm not handing them over to you.
Be reasonable, Commander. Cerberus was operating outside Alliance jurisdiction. You don't owe them any loyalty. The Alliance is just going to file this information away in some archive. No secret stays hidden forever. Eventually, someone somewhere will deliver it into our hands. Might as well be you. Transmit the files to us and you will be well compensated.
What are you gonna do with this information?
Information is a commodity. It can be bought, sold, or traded. Why my employer desires this information is not my concern. I am only the buyer.
My loyalty is to the Alliance, not the Shadow Broker.
That is unfortunate, Commander. My employer will remember this the next time you need something from us.
Spoiler, he doesn't. Alright. And then I'm actually going to call it quits there for the day, for the moment. I'll be back on later. But, yeah, I need to take a break. I'm gonna overwrite this one. That's all the glitches we're running through. And then, yeah, I'll be back later.